Okay, fam, I'm here. I'm doing some last minute little stuff because for some reason my computer decided to restart 15 minutes ago and it's just now coming back up. So let me get my windows back up where they need to be. So just be patient with me for a second here. I got one of them. Okay, that's all that window, this one. Yeah, I'm about ready here. So today we're going to be talking about Madeline Soto, her disappearance and her murder, and we're going to kind of go into as much of this as we can. I think I got this window up twice. Let's see. Okay, I cannot find the page that I'm sharing. Ain't that about that? Oh, here it is. I think this is it. Yep, I got it. Y'all bear with me. It's been a while. All right. Madeline Soto is missing. Florida mom begs for daughter's safe return home. And this article is coming from when she was missing, but before her body was found, obviously. Okay. The original story. A mother in Orange County is begging for help locating her missing daughter. Madeline Maddie Soto was last seen Monday, one day after she and her family celebrated her 13th birthday. Maddie's mother, Jen Soto, said surveillance video shows Maddie hanging out in a church parking lot on February 26th after being dropped off for school, but she never made it inside. I'm trying to hope for the best, but I'm scared for her, said Jen Soto. I want her to be okay. I want her to be safe. I don't want her to come back harmed. I just want her back. Whatever that means, I just want her back. I got something to say about that too, but not just yet. Jen Soto said sheriff's deputies are using canines and a piece of Maddie's clothing to try to track her scent near Town Boulevard. According to Jen Soto, Maddie had never run away. Has never run away before. She said the teen had forgotten her cell phone at home that morning, but that was normal. As of Wednesday morning, various search teams are out searching for Maddie. Skyfox flew over an area of Osprey Park near Hunters Creek, where multiple crews were seen looking for the teen. More than 50 members of the Orange County Sheriff's Office emergency response team are conducting searches in various areas as detectives continue to canvass, conduct interviews, and follow any possible leads. Maddie is 5'1", weighs 110 pounds. Well, that goes into her description. So let's check out this video, especially if this is the video that I think it is.
Jen, go ahead and tell us what's going on with Maddie.
Okay, hold on. Let me reroute my audio so that we're not getting feedback. Okay, here we go. Okay, so now that we've heard that interview, let's go back and take a real close look at it and let's break it down.
And tell us what's going on with Maddie.
Well, um, Monday morning, we took her to school.
Okay, so she's saying off the bat.
We dropped her off close to school,
We dropped her off. We took her to school. We dropped her off.
across the street from a church, which is it's right next to the school.
This may or may not be anything, but she says across the street from the church. So let's see how that jives with what he says in his interview.
Um, she crossed the street um, and walked to school, what we thought walked to school. Um, my boyfriend who drove her to school drove away at that point.
Okay, so she's saying my boyfriend who drove her to school. So we're assuming he was in the driver's seat, not that he drove by himself, but that he was in the driver's seat, and she probably by default was in the passenger seat.
Um, you can see on the footage that she hung out in the parking lot of the church for a few minutes and then had everyone walk towards the street. But she never made it.
Okay, she just said she crossed the street and she walked to school, what we thought walked to school. But she's saying here that the video shows Maddie playing in the playground, hanging out in the playground, and then walking to school. So if the video, and of course we know it's not Maddie on the video, but this is just showing her frame of mind and how she's not really thinking her lies through very well. If the video shows Maddie hanging out on the playground before walking to school, how could you have seen her walk to school? Either she walked to school or she walked to the playground across the street. One of the two.
Well, again, we haven't been able to fix that up. We'll need to figure out that. Because right now, I don't know that we can say for any given what happened on her walk along the way or if she got sick, but she never made it.
And that was the last anyone seen of her or heard from her.
Yes. I went to go after school, um, and she wasn't there. So I started driving around, maybe thinking she took a walk. Maybe she decided to walk to my mom's office, which is pretty close to the school as well.
I want to know where her mom's office is. Like, how close is it to the school? How far of a walk would it be? Because we know that they dropped her off. Well, we know that they're saying that they dropped her off at the church, and the church is about zero point 0.4 miles from the school. So, how far is it from the school to her mom's office? If anybody has that information, please get it to me because I'm just working things out of my brain. I mean, I know that none of this fairy tale she's telling is true, but I want to see just how much her lies don't add up. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to myself just kind of compare, well, they said this, but that wouldn't be possible because of this. Or if they said this, how could that be true? You know what I'm saying? So let's get back to it.
Drove around and I didn't see anything. I drove back to the school was closed. I emailed.
And why is your first reaction if you find out that your child never showed up at school, even though that's where she was supposed to be, and the last thing you claim you saw was her walking to school, why would you not immediately call the police? Why would that not be your first response? Because for me, I mean, if my kid was supposed to be somewhere and I find out that not only are they not there, they never were there, and they've been missing for hours, the first thing I'm doing is I'm dialing 911. Somebody come help me find my baby before I lose my whole mind.
One of my concerns. They confirmed that she was asking for my at that moment when I called 911 because I realized something was wrong.
Her like any of her friends been active on any social media.
She hasn't been active on social media. None of her chats, none of her games. I've been in contact So I don't feel like that's the case. I feel like she may have mistaken, because this is not like her at all to just disappear and not tell us, let us know what she's going or who she's with.
What are you getting from law enforcement? Are they actively searching for her? What happens now, especially that she doesn't have her phone with her?
Um, so as far as I know, they're conducting a search around the school, behind the school. There's Chico Creek, which is a wooded path area that you can walk. It's a hiking path. They are going back there with their canine dogs, to see if they're missing their clothing, to see if they can trace their scent.
Now, here's another thought, okay? Because at this point, the police are searching for her, right? Behind the school and all this stuff. Well, that's a lot of resources, a lot of man hours devoted to an obvious to a lie. I try to stay on the side of um not really coming down on parents like it's their fault or they're guilty or something like that. But in this case, I'm gonna put that rule to the side for the simple fact that she's telling lies that she knows is lies from the very beginning. She started out with a lie. We took her to school. We dropped her off. So why, if you have no knowledge or you're not guilty of anything, would you start out lying? Why would the first thing that you say about all of the events leading up to this point, why would the very first thing that you say out of your mouth be a lie? Because if my child were missing and I didn't know what was going on with them, where they were, or whatever, and I truly didn't know what was going on, I'm calling the police and I'm telling them the truth. Look, I haven't seen her since last night. She went to bed. I went to bed. When I woke up, she was already gone. He had picked her up for school. You know what I'm saying? Or I saw her getting dressed for school and he came and picked her up. Why would I lie and put myself in the car with him and her going to drop her off at school? Why would I put myself in her direct line of sight watching her walk to school? So for that reason, I'm putting that whole don't bash the parents to the side for this case because there is no way that she's just gonna lie off top if she didn't know something. Okay, guys, ringing. I gotta get this one. Hold on, just a second. Okay, sorry about that. I'm back. But I was saying, yeah, I'm gonna put that whole no parent bashing onto the side because in my heart, and I have ate and slept this case for the last maybe 3, 4 days. I have watched every video I could come across. I have read every news article I could come across. I've looked checked out every timeline I could come across. So in absorbing all that information, I cannot look at her as a victim. I just can't. And I know there's the whole innocent until proven guilty. I'm not going accusing her of being guilty of anything. I'm just saying I'm leaving the door open on her.
Um, they're also taking their own vehicle behind her with them, they're going into the woods to search for her. Um, but I don't feel like that's gonna find anything right now. We've had people all day on that trail
What's with that weird thing she just did with her voice? I'm not gonna find anything right now. What the heck was that?
sending us photos to see if anything there looks familiar and like her personal belongings and the word out to get some help because I'm desperate. I'm a wreck right now.
Do you think that she's been taken against her will?
I do think so, yes.
As a mom, what's your mother's intuition telling you right now?
Trying to put through the best.
Not a single tear. Whatever that means. I just want her back, whatever that means. Why are you at the point of whatever that means? Offer it. If my kid was missing and had not been missing a good 12 hours, I'm not saying whatever that means. I'm saying I want my child back. I want my baby girl back. I want my son home. I want them safe. Help me find them, look for them. I'd be pulling out every picture I could find. Look, here he is from day one all the way up to now. See how his face changed? See how he looks? Look how tall he is. He's goofy. He's silly. He talks a lot. I would not be saying whatever that means. Maybe 3, 4, 10 months down the line, I might be at the point of I just want him, her back, whatever that means, but not on day one. Day one, day two, you're at the point of whatever that means. That means you just want them back, dead or alive, hurt, unhurt, however, just bring them back. I don't think it's reasonable to believe that a parent without some type of guilty knowledge could so quickly be willing to accept whatever that means. Could not, I couldn't be so willing to accept a negative outcome this early in the game. I just couldn't. And I say that because there was a time when my sister went missing and she was missing for a couple of days. And I wasn't trying to hear no whatever that means. I want my sister back. So I can only imagine how much stronger that feeling would be had it been my child. This is another part that really caught me. Listen to what she says. There is no interaction between me and my young children that I would have called a fight or an argument because how do you fight and argue with a kid? I mean, seriously, kids have their attitudes, especially when they're going through they're going through puberty and having all these hormonal changes going on. Going through that right now with a grandbaby. But there is absolutely no interaction that I had with mine or that I've seen with my children and theirs who are that in that age range that I would call a fight or an argument. Like not a single thing. I've seen kid throw attitude, parent put their foot down, but not some back and forth arguing, not some kind of fighting, whatever that means. Was she was a happy girl. She suffers from anxiety at 13 years old. Now, something that really bugs me is this we. She's saying we like this dude is Maddie's dad or something, or like they've been together forever and he's been raising her since she was a baby or something like that. That just disturbs me, and I don't even know why it disturbs me on the level that it does, but it really gets to me that she keeps saying we. I mean, you've got cases where a man has been in a child's life for years and years, almost a kid's whole life. They're the only dad that kid knows. They and there's a real father-child bond between your child and that man. But this man, they haven't been together that long like that for there to be a bond like that there. You know, that's crazy. Okay, so that was that one. Let me get back over here. I mean, one of the thoughts that I wrote down on that one is that she can't even make a believable plea for Maddie's safety and return because it seems like she already knows she's dead. I mean, she can't. She her plea was just not believable to me, and all that ridiculous sighing. I can't. I don't get that. And she kept saying we when they were talking about dropping Maddie off at school, but I'm gonna save that for the next. I'm gonna save that for the next video that I play with her because it kind of goes right along with that. Okay, let's see here. All right, gonna be. And some of this stuff is kind of out of order because, like I said, my computer shut down on me. Like when I was setting up to go live, it shut down on me and restarted. So I kind of just had to pull everything back up from scratch. So it's not in order like I had tried to put it kind of in a chronological order of when the articles came out and all that. All right, so this one is Madeline Soto, missing Florida girl, wanted to live in the woods after her 13th birthday. Orange County Sheriff John Mina held a news conference on Wednesday afternoon to update the community on the search for the missing teenager who was last seen on Monday morning in Orlando. Sheriff Mina said that Soto was dropped off a few blocks from Hunters Creek Middle School on Monday morning by her mother's boyfriend. However, when Soto's mom went to pick her up, she found out her daughter had never set foot inside the school that day. Sheriff Mina said Soto was dropped off near Peace United Methodist Church on Town Loop Boulevard, a half mile from the school. It remains unclear why she was dropped off at this location, but Sheriff Mina said it's possible she was quote unquote embarrassed about the vehicle she was in and asked her mom's boyfriend to drop her off at that location. Oh man, here we go. For some reason my pages are not loading out all the way on this website. Let me see if I put it in reader view if it'll. That's enough anyway though. But and it cut off before the part about living in the woods. All right. So anyway, we know that it'll probably come up in another article that she said she wanted to go live in the woods after her 13th birthday. First, what was so special about the 13th birthday and not I want to go live in the woods right now? But most importantly and most glaringly, why would a girl that young want to go live in the woods of all things? Like really? Why? When I was that age, I did not want to live in the woods. I didn't even want to go to the camp that I went to because I don't do outdoors. I don't do snakes and creatures and weather and prickly pears and all the stuff that comes along with the woods. She didn't just say she wanted to go camping, she said she wanted to go live in the woods. So I feel like at her age, she was trying to get away from something. And that's speaking from, we already know now what it was she was trying to get away from. But before we knew what we know, my thought was she got to, if she wants to go live in the woods, she's running from something. She's trying to get away from something serious. Just like I say with kids, when they run away, they're either running away from something or they're running to something that they think will be better than what they have right now. So in that perspective, Maddie wanting to go live in the woods means either she's running away from something, which we know now she was running from her monster, or she wants to run to something that she thinks is better than what she has right now. And if she thought that living in the woods would be better than living in a house with four walls and a roof and food and clothes and beds, that should have set off some alarm bells with somebody. I mean, if any adults knew about that particular desire um, before all this stuff happened, that should have set off some alarm bells with somebody. Hi, Amari Baxter. How are you? Welcome to the chat. Thanks for joining. I'm gonna just be going over the case kind of from here to there. I got like 4 pages worth of notes and questions that I want to ask. All right, I gave it a little time. It's still not loading out the rest of the page, so let's move on to the next one. What I want is this interview right here. We're going to look at the interview with Steven Stearns before Maddie's body was found. Oh, come on. Copy link. Sorry about the ad. Okay. And off rip, there's red flags and alarm bells with him. I dropped her off. That's the last time we saw her. Is it I or is it we? I dropped her off. That's the last time we saw her. He can't even keep he can't keep his pronouns together. You know what's sick? He probably did tell this baby he loves her on a regular basis. That's probably the only truthful thing he said is that it's hard not to blame himself. That's probably the only nearly truthful thing he said since this whole thing started, and probably the last nearly truthful thing he'll say all the way out to the end. If anybody knows of a criminal record, criminal background on this guy, I really would like to see that. If you have it, shoot it to me in email or me a link at the channel phone number. All right, sorry about that. Not sure what happened with that. My I looked up and I wasn't online anymore. But I'm here. I'm back now. But yeah, he put on such a show with that, like such a ham. The not a single tear, all that sighing and fake crying and then he made a point there at the beginning. He was saying, is it her stepdad or her mom's boyfriend? And I don't think he's really like legit stepdad because I don't think they're married. I haven't read anything or heard anything that would lead me to believe that Stefan and Jen were married. This is just one of those call my boyfriend dad type situations. And I wonder if she actually had Maddie calling this man dad or stepdad or whatever. But I do want to show you guys this. I found a picture of um I found a picture of Madeline with her dad. I'm pulling it up right now. Okay, present. Share screen. Paste and go. And I found this on TikTok. It's captioned Madeline y su padre, or Madeline and her dad, her father. Come on. And it says Isu Madrasta. I think that means mother in law. I mean stepmother. So Madeline has her own dad who's, it seems like from this, is in her life. I'm just wondering why we haven't heard from him yet or from his side of the family. Beautiful girl. Beautiful little girl. I just wanted to show you that, guys, that real quick because we haven't heard from her father. We haven't heard from his side of the family, but she does have her own dad who's alive and well and apparently is in her life, spends time with her. We just saw pictures of him and her on multiple occasions because they had on different clothing. They were in different settings. So they've spent time together. And hopefully we'll hear something from him or his side of the family in the coming days or weeks. With everything that's going on, I can kind of understand not speaking out right now. He's probably really devastated at the loss of his daughter. He's probably really, not in a frame of mind to deal with the public, the press, and questions and all that stuff. So, and I appreciate that the media is giving him his privacy. We haven't seen them digging into who is he, where is he, hunting him down at home and at his job or whatever. Okay. So I just wanted to share that one because I found that on TikTok. TikTok. All right. Now, um, there's one more interview I want to play. I don't see it right now. This might be it. Let's see. I want the interview where she was just standing there, like caressing him and, you know, comforting him. Again, you know this weed dropped her off at school. There goes the phone accident. Phone accident number one. And just for clarification, right there, she says, I wasn't the one that took her to school that morning. That was my partner. Because when I first heard it, I thought she was saying, I was the one who took her to school that morning, but she says wasn't, as in what was not. Um, there's something I was going to say right here. Let me back up a little bit, see if I can remember what I was going to say. Oh, yeah. They just asked her when was her last conversation with her daughter. And she basically said last night and when I told her good night. But she keeps saying, we took her to school. We dropped her off at school. So did you not speak to your daughter all that morning after she woke up for school, while she was getting ready for school, possibly eating breakfast in the car on the way to the school? Just no conversation. You're just sitting there silent. You're not talking to her. You're not telling her anything, asking her anything. She's not interacting with you verbally. Just y'all are all in the same car going somewhere. So I believe that what happened right there is a little bit of truth snuck in, that the last time she saw this child was that night, because that's the last time that child was alive. The last time she saw Madeline alive was the night before she supposedly went missing. Now, there's one or three things that could be going on with her. And I don't want anybody to feel like I'm just dead set on that she's guilty or she has knowledge or she did something, because I'm not at that point yet. I'm just leaving the door open to it's a possibility. So one of three things in my mind could be going on at this point when she's giving this interview. Either she really did not know what was happening or what had happened to Madeline. She did not know that she was dead. She didn't know that, you know, her boyfriend is the one who killed her. She didn't know any of this stuff. And so she's genuinely, saying, the things that she's saying about hoping that she's okay and hoping that she'll show up and, different things like that. The other thing that could be going on here is she has suspicions that something happened to her daughter and that her boyfriend is the one who's responsible for whatever happened, but she doesn't have what she would consider hard evidence. She didn't see, her daughter dead. She didn't hear her daughter being beaten or shot or however she might have been killed. She she doesn't have what she would consider hard evidence to say, what, he did something, but she suspects it. And the third and last thing that could be going on here is she's fully aware of what happened to Madeline and that Madeline is no longer alive. Whether she was fully aware because she knew what had been going on with her and that she knew about the murder when it happened or whatever or not, at this point the third thing that could, let me stress that could be going on, is that she, at this point when she's giving this interview, has full knowledge that Stearns killed Madeline and dumped her body somewhere, and that all this crap about dropping her off to school is just a lie that they cooked up. So those are the three things that I think could be going on at this point in time. I'm just leaving the door open to whatever because we don't know yet. And I want to say this about the searches. You know, we always get a lot of people whenever there's something going on and the parents aren't searching, like in the Summer Wells case, that the parents, that Dawn and Candace weren't out searching for Summer with all these search parties. And people are always like, if that was my child, I'd be out there. You couldn't stop me from searching. Da, 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 da. I'm going to tell you as a parent, if my child was missing and people were searching creeks and under rocks and wherever else for my child, I would not be out there searching because I would not want to be the one to find them if they were deceased. That's just not something that I would want to walk up on and see. You understand me? I would rather someone else find my dead child and come and tell me about it than for me to be the one to find them dead. I don't know why, but that's just a distinction with me. It's just something that I've always felt whenever I watch these different true crime stories that go on. Now, it makes me think of the case that I covered the other year with Major Harris, the little boy in Milwaukee who his mom got killed and he was like taken and then they found him dead. Well, his dad came to Milwaukee from, I think, West Virginia, where he lived, to actively search for him. He was searching in trash cans and abandoned houses and ditches and all this kind of stuff. And that is just absolutely not something I want. If you're at the point where you're searching trash cans, ditches, ponds, lakes, the woods, no, I don't want to see that. I wouldn't be out there searching either.
desperate for any answers and anything that you can do to help. I'm here for it. Just please, if you see my daughter, just please bring her home. I just hope you're okay, honey. I hope you're safe. I hope you're not hurt.
Notice he didn't actually answer the question. The question was, "You seem emotional. Explain that to me." And he starts telling this canned story about how he dropped her off at school. And notice that he said, "I dropped her off at school," singular. And he says she was asleep for most of the day. But when mom was telling her part of the story about dropping Madeline off at school, she didn't say anything about Madeline being asleep. And I would think that if the kids slept all the way to school, then you would have said that. It would have stood out to you. Like maybe she was tired, or you know what I'm saying? Like if I'm taking my kid to school and then I find out later in the day that they're missing and they never made it to school, and then on the way to school they were just sleepy and tired, everything that's out of the ordinary would stick out to me and I would mention it because I would be questioning everything at that point. And he did. He probably went on with his day like nothing even happened, like he didn't just kill a whole child. Not feeling her presence. I'm not sure what's going on, guys, and I'm afraid to touch it. Okay, so now it is time to get into. Look, they got me signed. Now it's time to get into the criminal part of this. Oh wait, no, that's not what we're going to get into. Okay, we watched that video. Here we go. Okay, and this one is an article where Maddie is found deceased. And I believe this is just a picture of her. I don't think this is a video. We're going to find out if this is a video first, because if it's a video, it's just going to be the same wording that's in the, yeah, it's a video. So let's watch this.
What we did was we sent our unit out here and we discovered what appears to be a body. The body has clothing very similar to what the victim was last seen wearing.
The Mississippi Police Department confirmed Friday that it is the body of Madeline sad day for our community, and we mourn the loss of such a young life. Madeline's mother's boyfriend, Stefan Stearns, was arrested Wednesday for sexual battery and possession of child sexual abuse material just days after Madeline had been reported missing. Detectives found disturbing videos and images on Stearns' cell phone, which they say he attempted to delete. Stearns said he had dropped Madeline off a few blocks from her school Monday morning, but Orange County deputies say that isn't true.
Instead, we believe she was already dead at the time and that Stephen Stearns her body in the early morning hours on that day. We have video evidence that shows Stephen Stearns discarding items in a dumpster in that apartment complex in Kissimmee at 7:35 on Monday, February 26th.
Colorado is now at the
Okay. So now we're getting into the criminal part. So the body was found, and they believe that she was already dead. And what this one did not cover, they actually see Madeline in the car on camera in the early morning hours of the 26th, and they believe that she was actually dead in that video. So he was riding around with her dead body in the car, propped up as if she were alive. That's kind of giving me some Adam Montgomery type vibes. I mean, his first reaction after he killed his daughter was to immediately pull out a duffel bag and stuff her in it. Like that's just the normal thing to do with the dead child. And here this guy is riding around in the car with the dead body. I mean, how bold do you have to be? Because if it was me, I would be afraid that, this is going to be that one time that I get pulled over by the police and they're going to find me in this car with this dead body. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. This is going to be the time when I'm going to catch a flat or I'm going to get in a wreck and I got this dead body in the car. I wouldn't even think to be that bold as to do that, but he did. It's crazy. I'm scratching off notes as we're talking, honey. So what we want to go to now is the affidavits. Let's check out the affidavits. There's two. Copy that. Paste and go. Love paste and go. All right, and this is the emergency warrant request from the 28th of February. And this is the cover sheet. Officers of Kissimmee Police Department are waiting to immediately, directly, instantly, and at once without delay proceed on this search arrest warrant. In compliance with the 9th Judicial Circuit's warrant signing process, this cover sheet is attached to the request for emergency arrest search warrant. The Kissimmee Police Department recognizes that an emergency is an unforeseen combination of circumstances that call for immediate action and that law enforcement should seek emergency duty judge intervention only in rare and extreme circumstances where the law or totality of the circumstances requires immediate action, and that it must appear that urgent circumstances are present and that lack of immediate action would result in the loss of evidence or in the imminent escape of a suspect. The location of the suspect is 2500 West Colonial Drive, Orlando, Florida 32804, and the facts justifying the emergency are in custody. Watch Commander Erica Castellucci has reviewed this warrant and affirmed the emergency nature of the warrant. Alrighty, and this is going to be State of Florida versus Stephen Michael Stearns. Date of birth 4/25/1986, a white male. His home address is 4012 Santa Maria Drive, Kissimmee, Florida 34741. The physical description of this man is 6 feet 2, weighing 220 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. He has no scars, marks, or tattoos, and it gives his driver's license number. The state of Florida, County of Osceola, digitally appears affiant Detective Brian Moore, ID number 804, a sworn law enforcement officer, to wit, an officer for the Kissimmee Police Department, who makes the affidavit and states under oath that affiant has probable cause to believe that certain laws have been violated in Osceola County, Florida, and that on between 3/20/2022 and 12/03/2023, the defendant Stephen Michael Stearns that violate the Florida statutes and commit the offense. And I'm not sure why they got that first one blacked out, but count one, sexual battery, and it gives the statute, and count two, possession of material sexual performance by a child, and it gives the statute. Your affiant Detective Brian Moore, ID number 804, is the sworn law enforcement officer employed by the Kissimmee Police Department and has been employed by the agency since 4/9/2012. Your affiant currently investigates crimes in the city of Kissimmee, Florida. Your client, in the course of his or her official duties, has come to investigate on the 26th of February 2024, approximately 2,000 hours, and that should be about 8 p.m. Blank was reported missing by her mother. We know that that was Madeline. The mother advised her daughter's stepfather, Stephen Stearns, picked her up from home and dropped her off at the Hunters Creek Middle School, 13400 Town Loop Boulevard, Orlando, Florida, on February 26, 2024. The mother then went to pick up Madeline from school at dismissal and learned Madeline never showed to school. Let me see if I can enlarge this a little bit. Okay, I can't, I don't, there we go. Oh, that's much better. An interview was conducted with blank Stephen Stearns, who advised he picked Madeline up and dropped her off in front of Peace United Methodist Preschool, 13502 Town Loop Boulevard, Orlando, Florida, which was down. Hey, Ra, welcome to the chat. Which was down the street from the school at 8:40 in the morning. Hunters Creek Middle School begins classes at 9:30 a.m. A license plate reader captured Stephen's vehicle with Florida tag IYLL82, driving redacted. During the interview with Stephen, he provided consent to search his phone. However, he stated that he had accidentally performed a factory reset on his phone on February 26, 2024, the same day that Madeline went missing. There's the second accident with the phone, all these phone accidents. And I've got a video that I recorded of me going to the factory resets, the factory reset settings on my phone, and I'm going to share that with you after we finish this affidavit, because you'll see how hard it is. There is no way in the world you can accidentally reset your phone. You have to be very intent on resetting your phone to even get to the setting to reset your phone, because it's buried like 3, 4, 5 layers deep. Okay. After an extensive canvass of the area and interviews with Blake, family, and friends, it was unusual for Madeline to be dropped off down the street from the school and not stay in communication with family and friends. Upon reviewing the contents of Stephen's phone, several images and videos were located which depicted Blake, breasts, vagina, and anal opening as the focal point of the pictures / videos. There were also pictures and videos depicting blank, vagina, and mouth being penetrated by a penis. Sorry about that. That's my phone. Let me turn that notification sound off because it just scared the bejesus out of me. I was not expecting that to go off like that. All right, done. Okay, depicting blank mouth and vagina being penetrated by a penis. As such, the files depict the sexual performance of a child. Your client has probable cause to believe Stefan was in possession of material depicting the sexual performance of a child. It should be noted the penis observed penetrating, and we know it's Madeline, had distinct marking on it which consisted of bright pinkish colored skin below the head of the penis until approximately a quarter of the length down the shaft of the penis. Several other pictures capturing this distinct pattern were observed on the phone. Further, as your affiant was reviewing pictures and videos, I was observing several different pieces of clothing to include patterned underwear, shirts, blankets, and sheets. A lot redacted right there. Based on the totality of the circumstances, your affiant has probable cause to believe Stefan committed a sexual battery, and I'm assuming that the rest of that is going to say on Madeline Soto. And this warrant application is dated the 26th of February of this year. And then the last page has like his information, his driver license photo as a mugshot, and the judge's signature, and that's that. Now, what I want to share with you, because there is no way in the world that you accidentally reset a phone. And mine is an Android phone. Let's see. Come on. It's loading up, it's uploading it right now. And I'm not sure why it's not showing it, but I actually had to like scroll. I had to go from the home screen to that first scene you saw with all the icons, then scroll all the way down, then go to this setting, and then after I get in here, I would have had to hit the erase all data factory reset, and then from there I would have had to confirm it by putting in like my PIN number or my phone password or whatever like that, and then it would ask me if I'm sure I wanted to factory reset the phone, and then it would reset. So you cannot accidentally factory reset your device. You have to have the very intent to do that in order to accomplish that goal. So let's go to the second warrant, because after he was arrested and charged with those crimes, they brought in some new crimes. And I'm not going to read this article, but this article has the affidavit in it. Here we go. Let's go full screen. Okay, and fit to it. All right. Content warning. We've already read the first affidavit, so it's basically some of the same wording and information, but it's more specific to a different charge. And this is from the 29th of February. And there's the same information that we read before. And I'm not going to read the digitally appears. Now, this is for one count of sexual battery on a victim under 12 years of age, familial. And the reason that is going to be familiar, not because they were related necessarily, but they lived in the same household. That's kind of like how it goes with domestic violence charges now. Even if we're not boyfriend and girlfriend, husband, wife, parent, child, or whatever, as long as if we're roommates and we get in a fight and you hurt me or whatever and I call the cops, you could face a domestic violence charge because it's about us living in the same house together. So, as far as I know, he's not family because I have not seen anything that makes me believe that Stearns and Jen Soto were married. Okay, your affiant, Detective Brian Moore, ID 804, is a sworn law enforcement. We're not going to read that part. Your affiant, in the course of his or her official duties, has come to investigate. On February 26, 2024, approximately 2000 hours, Madeline Soto, a 13-year-old, was reported missing by her mother. The mother advised her daughter's stepfather, Stephen Stearns, picked her up from home and dropped her off at Hunters Creek Middle School, 13400 Town Loop Boulevard, Orlando, Florida, on February 26, 2024. The mother then went to pick up Madeline from school, that's probably her initials right there, and learned that MS never showed to school. An interview was conducted with Stephen. During the interview with Stephen, he provided consent to search his phone. However, he stated he had accidentally performed a factory reset on his phone on February 26, 2024. Upon reviewing the contents of Stephen's phone, several images and videos were located which depicted an apparent child with her breasts, vagina, and anal opening as the focal point of the pictures and videos. And I want to make this comment on this wording right here about the focal point. I was watching another video where an expert was speaking about this. I can't remember if it was a lawyer or a police officer, but they were like somewhere in that area, that field of whatever. And they were saying that the wording really matters because as long as they've said that the breast, vagina, and anal opening were the focal point of the pictures and videos, then the defense can't really come back and be like, oh, it was an accident, I didn't mean to take that picture, or that's not what that picture was for, whatever like that. Stating it as being the focal point of the pictures kind of conveys that person had full intent of taking that particular picture of that particular thing. There were also pictures and videos depicting the apparent child's vagina and mouth being penetrated by a penis. The child was later identified as Madeline Soto, whose date of birth is 2/22/11. Metadata from the images and photographs described above shows that in August of 2022, Stephen inserted his penis into the victim's mouth. A warrant was previously obtained for a sexual act that occurred after the victim turned 12 years old. This warrant is to charge the act that occurred before on August 22nd, August 2022, when the victim was 11 years old. Further, your affiant was reviewing the images from the August 2022 incident. Your affiant observed the characteristics of the room where the incident occurred. Previously, detectives of the Orange County Sheriff's Office, or OCSO, were executing a search warrant on Stephen's home address of 4012 Santa Maria Drive, number 107, Kissimmee, Florida, 34741, the residence. The address is also where the victim, her mother, and Stephen live. OCSO took images of the layout of the residence. Based upon a review of the images from the Orange County Sheriff's Office's execution of the search warrant at the residence, the room pictured on the images from August 2022 indicate incident matches one of the rooms in the residence. Based on the totality of the circumstances, your client has probable cause to believe Stephen committed a sexual battery, familial custodial authority on the victim when the victim was under 12 years old. So I'm glad that we did get those affidavits and we got a chance to read those and see what they were all about. And to see exactly what he's charged with. And again, I'm just saying there's too many accidents with phones. And we know that his was an accident, but saying that Madeline accidentally left her phone at home is like saying ice isn't cold. Because we know how not only children but adults, we're like tied to our phones now. I don't go anywhere without mine. I mean, half the time if I go in the bathroom, I take it with me. And it's a thing nowadays. And especially with kids because they're doing the social media, they're texting with their friends, they're video chatting each other, they're playing games, they're watching videos, they're constantly doing something on their phone. My grandbaby, that girl can't live without her phone. And if her phone dies, she come get mine. And if that one dies, she come get my other one. And if it ain't that, it's the tablet or it's the iPad. Kids are attached to their devices. So I find it hard to believe that Madeline, quote unquote, accidentally left her phone at home. It just wouldn't have happened that way. And then think about this. He mentioned that Madeline stopped and was looking for something in her backpack after he dropped her off. And I think he was trying to insinuate that she was looking for her phone or looking for her headphones because I think there was somewhere else. I was watching a video and it says something about Madeline always listening to music on her phone. I'm pretty sure and I think he was trying to insinuate that. But then the phone turns up at home because he obviously forgot to grab that when he was grabbing things to throw away. He grabbed the backpack and he grabbed the computer, but he forgot the phone. And guys, I'm getting a lot of the information from web sleuths. And I love web sleuths because whenever they do a thread on a missing person, they always have a thread that goes with it that has nothing but just like the media links and the video links and stuff like that. There's no discussion. It's just all like news articles, videos, maps, timelines, stuff like that. So I'm getting a lot of the information for the Madeline case from there just because it's so very organized. And if you can think of a missing persons case that you want to get more information on, I would advise you to go to websleuths.com, type in their name, and most likely they will have a thread for them because I found threads on there for people, for missing persons that I didn't even think they would have on there because it's been so long ago or because it wasn't really a well-known case, but I found it on there. And it is so easy to like say you have a missing persons case that you can't find on web sleuths. If you shoot somebody a line, they'll make a thread for you because I didn't know how to make a thread on there and I still don't. And I remember there was a case that I was looking at, and this was before I started doing YouTube. I was just I wanted to know about it. But I sent one of the mods a message, hey, I don't know how to create a thread. Could you start a thread for this case? And they did it. Hey, you new. How are you? Welcome to the chat. All right, let me see if I got anything else that I want to. Okay, so now we are to the point where Madeline's body was found. So let me pull up that article. All right. Missing 13-year-old Florida girl found dead and mother's boyfriend suspected of moving her body. And there is a video, so we'll watch the video.
What we did was we sent our units out here. We did discover what appears to be a body.
Oh, we already watched this, but we'll watch it again.
Very similar to what the victim was last seen wearing.
Houston Police Department confirmed Friday that it is the body of Madeline Soto that was found. In a statement, Chief Ben Collins said, quote, "It is with a heavy heart I inform everyone that as we expected, Madeline Soto is deceased. This is a sad day for our community and we mourn the loss of such a young life." Madeline's mother's boyfriend, Ron Stearns, was arrested Wednesday for sexual battery and possession of child sexual abuse material just days after Madeline had been reported missing. Detectives found disturbing video and images on Stearns' cell phone, which they say depicted the shooting. Stearns said he had dropped Madeline off at 2 o'clock Tuesday, Monday morning. But Orange County deputies are saying that isn't true.
He said she was already dead at the time, and that Stephen Stearns her body in the early morning hours on that day. We have video evidence that shows Stephen Stearns discarding items in a dumpster in that apartment complex in Kissimmee at 7:35 on Monday, February 26th.
So yeah, we already saw that one, but it doesn't hurt to play it again. What I'm looking for right now is the article, and I'm sorry guys, I had all this stuff put together. So I gotta scroll through here and find it again, but just bear with me. Madeline Soto's body found in rural. I think this is the article that I want right here. Let's see. I can't believe I've been on here almost 2 hours. It doesn't even seem like it. Yeah, this might be what I'm looking for right here. Let's see. No, that's pictures. Here we go. I knew I was gonna find it. I don't know why my computer, every time I get on here to stream, it starts wanting to move slow and act a fool and all that stuff. But any other time it runs just fine. Like I sit here and I watch YouTube 24/7 and it never skips like this. It never slows down or any of that. I watch thousands of videos on YouTube a week. Let me start it over so we can hear what she's saying.
Now, we're told investigators were the tip that led the prime suspect to this area, shaking a tire the day Madeline disappeared. They spoke to Detective Terry one-on-one just hours before he was arrested Wednesday on child sex abuse charges. At the time, he told us he had dropped off Madeline for school in Orange County on Monday. Investigators say that's never true.
We have evidence that shows Stephen Stearns
Say they
Here we go.
found the body of 13-year-old Madeline Soto was missing since Monday. Thank you for joining us on our late show. We took you out to this scene you see here in Osceola County. Ron has got tragedy covering the favorite line for this news at 5. 7 is 9. So over the city there in the rural area near Republican High School on Pickering Train Road. Now, we're told investigators received a tip that led the prime suspect to this area, shaking a tire the day Madeline disappeared. We spoke to
Oh, you guys can't hear it? All right, let me reshare it. Hold on. Give me a second. Let me get it together because I might not have shared the audio. Let me get it up. Full screen. Can you hear it now?
Of 13-year-old Madeline Soto was existing since Monday. Thank you for joining us. I'm Darlene Jones. We took you out to this scene you see here in Osceola County. Why is that tragic discovery during eyewitness at 5?
I don't have a way to turn it up. It's as loud as it'll go, I think.
Now, we're told investigators received a tip that led the prime suspect to this area, changing a tire to make Madeline disappear. Metro 7 served one-on-one just hours before he was arrested Wednesday on child charges.
Okay, we'll just skip this video and I'll drop the link here so that you guys can watch it if you want to. Basically, they were just giving the details of her body being found. They hit on his interviews that he did, and yeah, my computer volume is all the way up to 100. That's what I'm saying. I really don't have a way to turn it up anymore. I'm gonna try to find out about a volume booster. I know a lot of channels. Sue's mom has something where she can like boost the volume, so I'll ask her about that so that in future lives, if we need extra volume, we can make that happen. So now I was sitting back and I was thinking about like the I was just thinking about all the information that I've been consuming on this case over the last few days, and I took a few notes, and this is just kind of discussion. If anybody wants to hop on the panel, let me share that link again, and we can just talk about it. Cause I got questions. I ain't lying. I got questions and I got thoughts. So first of all, why did the cops take over 3 hours to come and take the report? Because the mother claimed, well, she doesn't claim, it's shown that she called the police at about 3:45, 4 o'clock to make the report. And the cops didn't show up until about 8 o'clock that evening. So it took them over 3 hours to get there to take the missing persons report. And to me, I mean, honestly, it really wouldn't have made a difference in this case since they're saying that she was already dead in the early morning hours. But had she not been dead in the early morning hours, it would have made a big difference. Yeah, always dropping the ball. So, and I've noticed in a lot of cases, it seems like they just take too long to move. They take too long to get there. They take too long to issue an Amber Alert. They take too long to go to the media. They take too long to release information, and it hurts the case. Now, I was thinking about why in the world would he kill this girl? You know what I'm saying? We know he had been molesting her for however long he had been molesting her. As a matter of fact, there is one more article. I'm gonna pull it up for later. We know that he had been molesting her for all this time, right? And then all of a sudden he decides to kill her. So why would he all of a sudden decide to kill her? Like, did she say no? Did she threaten to tell? Did he injure her like badly by accident and had to just basically finish her off? Was she pregnant? And now that's a possibility because she's obviously in puberty. She's got little buds coming on her chest. She's obviously in puberty. Did he get her pregnant? If he got her pregnant, or if he thought she was pregnant, did she refuse to like have an abortion or something? Um, did she have like a little school boyfriend and he got jealous or whatever? Afraid of quote unquote losing her to somebody else. Um, if she was pregnant, did he try to like either medicate her or beat her to cause her to have a miscarriage and something went wrong with that? And I'm thinking about all this stuff. Like all these thoughts are coming through my head. Like, okay, what are the possibilities? You know, um, I was thinking about the mom. And like she's obviously telling lies, and I can't get past that. And I'm not trying to victim bash, but I really don't feel like she's the victim in this case. Like, if she's the victim, okay, it's possible. If he was abusing Madeline for all this time, it's possible that he was abusive towards Jen Soto also. But would that abuse have been so bad till she was afraid to say anything and was like f- basically forced to lie? And you're right, Ron. I don't think she would tell her mom either. Yeah, she's been part of the lies ever since the very beginning. The first thing out of her mouth was a lie. We dropped her off at school. That was the very first thing that we heard her say about this whole situation. So from there on, I can't consider anything else that she said to be reliable, credible, or trustworthy. Because the very first thing you did was lie. It doesn't make any sense. And so, like I said, I'm not into victim bashing, but I don't really feel like the mom is the victim in this case. I feel like, if anything, she was complicit and possibly as far as being an accomplice. So she's telling obvious lies, but why is she lying? You know what I'm saying? Like, did she know that the abuse was going on? Did she know or think that maybe Madeline could possibly have been pregnant? Was she a victim of abuse herself? Was she so afraid of Stefan that she would cover up, you know, hey, he murdered my daughter in cold blood after he molested her for all this time? I mean, it's possible. I kind of think that way about Kayla Montgomery too. I believe that being a victim of abuse, but we knew for a fact that she was a victim of abuse by Adam because we saw the pictures. We saw the black eyes, the busted lips, the bruised face. We saw that. He beat her too. Looks like he beat the crap out of her. But in this case, we're not seeing yet, as of yet, something may come out later. We're not seeing, that Stefan was abusing Jen. We're not seeing that he was beating her and half killing her, So as of right now, there is nothing that I can point to and feel confident to say she was afraid for her life or she was forced to lie or anything like that because I'm just not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. And then in that one interview, and I lost that one when my computer shut down, but there's one interview where they were inside the house and they were talking, and she was like caressing his head and stroking him and holding him and hovering over him, like she was trying to comfort him. She was doing to him what he should have been doing to her, considering she's the one who lost the child. She's the one whose child was missing. And you can tell that she is so mind blown about this dude that she probably would lie for him even if she wasn't being abused. So there are women out there who want a man more than they want their kids, or they're willing to sacrifice their kids or give their kids up knowingly, knowing that they're being molested and bruised and beaten or whatever, just to keep the man in their life. We've seen it over and over and over. It's not like a thing that doesn't happen. And the way that she was doting on him in that one interview, to me, I'm kind of halfway on the fence about her, but halfway not. I really, part of me just wants to say, you know what, she's a piece of crap mom, and this is her fault when it boils down to it. But the other half is still kind of like, well, you know what? She might be a victim too. You know what I'm saying? So, but mostly I'm blaming her. I'm not gonna lie. Mostly I'm blaming her. And she was doing that fake crying too, like him. He was crying without crying, and she was doing the same thing. That and not a tear is dropping anywhere, dude. If my kid was missing, I'd be inconsolable. You couldn't shut me up crying. I would be crying the Niagara Falls if my kid was out of pocket for just a short time. There's the channel phone number, guys. So if you have anything that you want me to cover or some information on cases that I've already covered that you want to share with me, you can call or text the channel number. If I don't answer, just leave a message. You can also email me. I'm also on Facebook. I'm going to get back on Twitter or X here soon. I just haven't. I don't want to really overwhelm myself. I want to work right now on just growing the channel, and then I'll worry about branching out to all kind of social media. But for now, just for contact purposes, your best bet is the phone number or email or Facebook Messenger. Yeah, and he could have been putting his hands on her. He could have. Another thing I thought about that could have gone wrong. Did he decide that it was time to share her with somebody else? Was he trying to bring another abuser in? Because they do this. And I mean I've been watching a lot of the predator catchers and other stuff like that lately. And these abusers will bring other people in for a threesome with the child that they're abusing. So did he try to share her with somebody else and she freaked out or she refused or she threatened to tell, what he was trying to do and so he killed her? All right, take your time. I will be here. Or did he share her with somebody and left her alone with somebody and that person hurt her to the point that he had to hold on a second, guys, phone call. Okay. But yeah, did he leave her with some other dude that he shared her with and that dude hurt her or that dude killed her? And so now he's got to clean up this mess? Or did she simply get too old for him? Because we know that these abusers tend to have preferences. He abuser's preference might be 5 to 7 year old boys or 11 to 13 year old girls. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever their preference is. Maybe she at 13 was the magic number, and she just because think about it, she literally just turned 13, and the next thing you know, she's gone. So did she get too old for him? Also, he was taking pictures and he was recording, right? What was he doing with the pictures and recordings? Was he selling them? Was he sharing them? Because watching these predator poachers that I've been watching on YouTube, these guys get in groups on Telegram, Signal, WhatsApp, and all these other social, even Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat, and they're sharing child porn. So was he sharing it? Was he selling it? And two other questions that I had that weren't really directly related, but kind of. I'm wondering if Maddie had any siblings, like by her mom or by her dad. And I'm wondering if Stearns had any kids. Did he have any children? And if he did he have any girls? You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's how I'm thinking. I'm really thinking he was selling it because what was the point of making it? You know what I'm saying? It's like this. Why do you need to make videos and have pictures when you have full access to the victim right there? You don't, because you can just go look at it in person whenever you want to, just about. Hey, welcome to the panel.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So, the reason why, my opinion, allegedly, okay, we have to say that, of course, but I think it's because she aged out. And the reason why he's recording it is when she ages out, he'll have something to look at. He's a perv, period.
Yeah,
hmm I don't
I
think
didn't even think
he's
about
too
that.
narcissistic to want to share her. That's his.
That's a good point.
hmm It's all his. At least that's what he thinks.
Yeah, that was it. That could be a very real possibility.
And
Mine and mine alone.
have you seen that picture at her birthday?
The one where she had on that dress and she was standing up, the
Like her
dress was kind
gold
of,
dress? She
yeah,
looks pregnant.
yeah. That's now that I was thinking that too. She does look. She looks a little fuller in her midsection,
hmm
and then you know how when we're pregnant we tend to get a little fluffy looking. She had
Right?
that look.
Right in that abdomen area.
But just all over, like her face, just her whole body. She had that. She just had that
Chubby.
pregnant look.
hmm She looks
We'll know
pregnant.
when the autopsy report comes out.
So now, is she pregnant by him or did she get pregnant by another little boy? Right? I'm just
Mm-hmm.
saying. I'm just saying. Allegedly, she could have got pregnant by another boy, and he found out, and he was like, "I don't think so," and then offed her.
You know what? I don't even think that he would kill her for being pregnant by somebody else. But I think if anything, he would kill her if he thought she might be pregnant by him. Because if it's his, he's busted. He's gone.
No, but what I'm saying is when I say he's narcissistic, he's about himself. He is all about himself. You're not going to be with somebody else. You're with me. And I find out you're with somebody else, that might be a problem. I'm not saying that this is what happened. I'm more likely to think that she was pregnant from him than anybody else.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes
hmm
sense.
But there's a possibility because the way he is, she's his property. That's what pervs are like. I mean, until they age out, that's their property.
Right,
That's just like a pimp, right?
right.
That's mine. You're gonna
And
do what
Rod
I
has
tell
a
you to
good
do.
point too. She said pervs usually want mementos, so that could be what the pictures were for as well. But I also
hmm
still think he was selling them, even if he was keeping them for mementos. I think he was selling them too.
Yeah, I think that he was using them for when she ages out because now she's 13. She's a teen, and then all of a sudden she comes up unalived.
Mm-hmm.
That's suspicious to me.
Now I'm wondering if CPS was ever involved with Maddie or if they ever had any contact with them. I would really like to hear that information come out.
If they do, then that would mean the mom knew something was up and she still let it keep going on.
Exactly my thoughts.
hmm That would be the proof on top of that pudding.
And my other thought is, were either of them or both of them on drugs? Because just because they don't look like they're strung out doesn't mean they're not on drugs.
Mm. I've
So
seen, yeah, I've seen
could
big people
addictions
on
have a
dope.
part in this?
You might want to say Uggs, not that word.
Oh, I'm not even worried about YouTube.
You
I
don't
can't,
care? Oh,
because
okay.
I can't remember to do all that rewording and rephrasing. I can't remember to do all that.
I know it makes me stutter because I'm like, wait a minute, I got to figure out a word right away. You're thinking about the word you got to use because you can't use this, can't use
Yeah,
that.
I have no
It's
filter.
crazy.
I just say things like they are. I mean, I'm gonna have to calm myself down on that though, because I do want to monetize the channel so that I can get some more stuff like
Right,
microphones and different things for the channel. A green screen.
right.
Well, I have a green screen, but I just don't have the thing that you put the green screen on.
Okay.
So I do want to get some stuff for the channel, and so therefore I do kind of want to monetize. So I should probably learn to watch my mouth.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I mean, I haven't heard you cursing or anything. I've heard people cursing up and down and they still get monetized. So I don't know. I can't even tell you what is going on with their mindset over there on YouTube because you got people cursing up and down,
Yeah.
doxing people, and they still approve them to be monetized. I don't understand that part. And then you got people who are not cursing, not saying any words, and then they demonetize them like they did to me.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
Look,
this kind of sucks because I was actually hurting because I fell down and I like right after I started, when I got back on, I noticed that my channel has no, I was demonetized. And they sent me a thing talking about I was reused. Reused of what?
they've been
The
doing
only
that to
thing
a
I
lot of channels
reused is
lately.
music. Huh?
They've been doing that to a lot of channels lately, saying that it's reused material. I know they did it to Your Maker. They did it to Disturbing,
Mm-hmm.
and This Is Monsters. Kind of changed up how he does his videos to just in case to keep them from doing it to him.
Wow. Yeah. So now I have to start from the beginning with my hours, but I still have my family members. So I'm still trying to get my hours up. It's taking time, but I'm going to get there. I'm not worrying about it.
Yeah. So
But
Ross
yeah, so
says she
I really
believes the
think,
mom has to be on drugs to let him do that to her daughter.
yeah.
I'm going to agree and disagree with that. And see, this is where this case kind of gets personal for me because as a child, I was molested, and my mom knew damn well I was being molested, and she just let it happen. I mean, like
Oh,
she
Jesus.
actually literally saw it with her eyes what was happening, and she just didn't do anything. And it went on for years.
That isn't what?
Yeah.
Wow.
And, and, by my mom, there's like four girls. There's let's see, yeah, there's like four girls. All four of her girls have been molested. With me and the one sister, the person who molested us, which it was two different people. One person molested me, one person molested her. She told the person, "Don't come around. The police are looking for you."
Oh, my Jesus.
With one of my younger two siblings, and I wish to God to this day, but I don't know. I was younger and I wasn't really thinking straight. There was a time when my younger sister was literally, she would boo-hoo cry when she had to go to the bathroom, when she had to number two, because she was like, it's going to hurt, it's going to hurt. And at the time, it didn't really cross my mind, and my mom's laughing at her like it's funny. But then, as
Wow.
years went by, I was like, you know what? Somebody was molesting her. They were anally raping her, and that's why it hurt her to use the bathroom. That's why she was afraid to go.
Oh, my gosh.
So
I am so sorry you guys went through all that.
it doesn't necessarily have to be drugs, but a lot of times it is, and I that might be in here because she kind of seems like she's on some kind of downer, like she's emotionless.
She has no tears in her eyes at all, like not one
None.
drop of tear. That's just like, remember Malia Davis?
Yeah.
Brittany wasn't crying. She was, and I'm like, where's the tears? You look like you have dry eyes, like you have not one
Yeah.
drop of tears.
And they all do that. If you don't shut up, you is not getting no Academy Award off that. Shut
No,
up.
for sure they're not. For sure they're not. It's a sad thing. And the thing is what sucks is that she got away with it and the dad or the stepdad is in prison for it. Like, that doesn't make any sense. I think she had something to do with it
Yeah,
because
I do
out of
too.
nowhere, right when she leaves is when it happens. And she's left before. That's the part that I don't get. She's left multiple times. He's never did anything. All of a sudden she leaves and boom, you get a chance to do what? Like, what the heck?
Right.
I really think she has something to do with it. Till this day, I think she has something to do with it.
Definitely. She
But
knew
yeah,
something was going on.
this mom and this dad, I swear to goodness, they're both doing the same thing. They're doing a little shaky, shaky, making it like they're losing their minds, like they're
Yeah.
shaking. No, what you're doing is you're scared because you're about to go to prison and you
Yep.
are
About
about
to
to
get
be a
busted.
accomplice.
Yep. Okay, so how about Maddie saying that she wanted to go live in the woods after her
I
13th
don't
birthday?
believe that. I believe that he took her. I mean, he's reflecting on what he did.
Well, no, this came from the police because they're saying that they found that on her device, on her phone.
How do
That
we know
she
he
had
didn't put it on there?
that she had been telling people that she wanted to live in the woods after she turned 13.
How many times did she tell somebody that?
I don't know how many, but that came from the police when they did their forensics on her phone,
Hmm.
on Maddie's phone. That's where that came from.
Could it be he did it?
That's possible.
Because you can easily type, text somebody and then delete it. And
Because
she'll
he
never
could have
know
been
that you
planning this.
texted to them.
Yeah, he could have been planning this. He could have
Hmm.
been planning to do this for a while.
Hmm. Yeah, there's a chance that it might be what's going on. Or if she did say it, maybe because she wanted to get out of that house because that house is full of pervs and no help from her mom. Like, come on,
Yeah,
how do you not know your child has been abused so long and not know about it? That doesn't make sense to me. I can understand if he accidentally, not, I'm not going to say accident because there's no accidental when they do stuff like that, but let's just say he did it one time. Okay, I might give you a leeway on that, but he's been doing it multiple times and you know nothing about it. I'm sorry, I don't believe that at
yeah,
all.
you had to have some kind of suspicion. You had to have walked in on an awkward moment or heard a weird tail end of a conversation or seen how. I lived with someone who I considered my friend at one time, and this is when my kids were smaller. I
Hmm.
think my oldest was maybe 10 years old, but you could
Hmm.
tell she was going to have a real cute shape, like tiny waist, big butts type shape.
Hmm.
And so we were walking down the hallway in the house. She was in front, he was behind her, and I was behind him. And when she turned to go off into her room, I saw how his eyes followed her. I moved out of that house the next week as soon as I possibly could.
Yeah,
So you,
because you know what's going on. You know
yeah,
what
even
to
if
look
you aren't
for.
the type to do something to my child, why the hell are you watching her like that?
Right, that's weird.
Yeah, so I got up out of there. So you had to there you have to be situationally aware when you're raising children, especially when you're raising girls, even boys nowadays. But you have to be situationally aware when you're raising kids and paying attention to the people that you have around them, what they're doing, how they're acting. Are they staring at her too much? Do they hug her a little
Hmm.
too long? Are they always trying to give her a present or crack jokes with her? I'm old school when it came to my kids.
There,
Old
exactly.
school when it came to
That's
my kids. I refuse to let
the
anything
part
like
I
that
don't
happen.
get. Like, that's exactly how I was protective. I have boys, all five boys. Not one time have I been able to just say, "Hey, somebody says, "Hey, can your kids come to a party?" That I was not there. Yes,
Right.
I was a hovering mother. I was a POS, mother over shoulder, parent over shoulder for sure.
And
But
I
I
did not do that spending nights and sleepovers at other folks'
none
house.
of
You can
that.
come over here and spend the night, but you ain't going over there.
Yeah, none of that. I was not having any of that. Like, my kids didn't even start going anywhere until they were 16 without me. And even then, I was like, I know who the person was. I knew the parent. I mean, literally knew the parent. I knew the his friends, so I knew that they were going to be okay. Which I found out they had a little drinking over there. But hey, I'd rather have drinking than having a perv touching my child.
Exactly. Exactly. I didn't even have my kids around boyfriends.
Yeah.
I could they knew each other's dads.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there was probably like two other dudes that I was dating that I was serious with that ended up coming around them. But other
Mm-hmm.
than that, if we just kicking it or we just started dating or something, no, you're not coming around my kids. I'm not even gonna tell you where I live in.
My boys were all over eight. They were right at eight. No, one of them was right at 18 because he was with somebody he's been with for a long time. That was his first, and then all the rest of them over 18.
And you're right, Rod. That's probably what it is. I always say when a kid runs away or they're talking about running away, they're either trying to run away from something horrible or they're
Yes.
trying to run to something that they think is better than where they're at. And if that
Yeah.
child thought that living in the woods would be better than living where she was, something was really wrong.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Definitely the mother knows. Sherry. Yes, she does. She knows. I don't believe she doesn't. I mean, I can feel it in my bones. She does. Like, just the way she reacts, just the way she keeps lying. She keeps
Yeah,
changing the story. You can tell a lie and keep telling lie or lie after lie after lie. When you tell the truth, it's only going to come out one way. There's
and
no
can't keep the
changes.
lie straight. Can't keep the lie
Exactly.
straight. I dropped her off. We dropped her off. It was me. It wasn't me. It was him.
Right.
Which
And
one
then
was
she
it?
stutters. She stutters to tell because she can't figure out what's the truth coming out of her mouth. Nothing's coming out because she's telling lies all over the place.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he's a liar as well. So I mean, why not join? She's joining his little team of lies and team of being a perp. And I really think she knew, and she didn't care because it kept her from having to do anything with him. Who knows that a lot of parents are
Exactly.
like that. A lot of parents will think that way. It has nothing to do with being on Uggs. It doesn't mean that they're drinking. It just there is parents out there who allow their kids to be the woman of the house because they don't want to deal with it.
Right.
But that's the psych part of them women who need to be checked out. They need help. But like I said, some of them don't get help, and then they get with the wrong guy and they allow them to do whatever they want to do. And then if she is being hit on, being touched on, I'm talking about the mother. If she's being hit or abused or threatened, I don't care. I'm sorry. I don't care because your child comes first.
At
You're
all
supposed
times.
to be keeping your child safe. God gave you that child. He helped you bore that child. He helped you bring this child to this earth for you to care for, not to allow a perv his hands all over her
Exactly.
and be okay with it. It's not okay. Get over yourself and be there for your child. Keep your child safe. But no,
Exactly.
she decides that she wants to just diddle daddle wherever the hell she wants to diddle daddle to and leave her child with a perv.
I'm wondering what their work situation was. Like, well, he worked at Disney, and I think I heard somewhere that she worked at Disney too, but just in a different part than him.
Was he still at Disney or did he used to work at Disney? Because I know they have a picture with him wearing that Disney outfit looking like a full-blown dork. But was he at Disneyland? Because he likes kids, y'all. He likes kids.
Well,
Sorry to say.
Disney is notorious for having pervs and pedophiles working for them.
Hello. Yeah. Hmm. And he's not a teen. I mean, I understand when you have the teenagers working there, like 18, maybe early 20s, right? But when you have these grown old men working over there and they're not doing like what are you doing there? But looking at little kids, you perv.
Right.
Ooh. I don't know. That's just weird.
And then here's the thing too about Maddie disappearing. Her mom mentioned in an interview that Maddie was not using any devices the night before she disappeared. She didn't have her phone or anything like that, so she wasn't in contact with anybody. So
Okay.
to me, if you know that she hasn't been in contact with anybody and all of a sudden she disappears and never gets to school, that should have set off alarm bells to call 911 immediately.
Yeah, instead of lying and saying she went to school. That's weird.
Yeah, because she actually said she saw her walk to school. She was
Yeah.
like, we dropped her off and she crossed the street and she walked to school. Well, what we believe was walk to school. What?
And something about a church that's like about 20 minutes away. Who takes their children, drops them off at a church over there by the church, 20 minutes away for them to take a
No, they said it
bus?
was a half. It was about point 0.4 or about a half mile away from the school, so a few blocks. But that's still too far to leave somebody just going to school just because they're embarrassed about your car. Maybe a block away, but a couple of blocks away, a few blocks away, a half mile away. That's crazy.
So where's this? I was told the church was like 30 minutes, 20 minutes away.
No, the church is actually on the same street as the school on Town Loop
Oh, so
Drive.
they didn't know what they were talking about, obviously.
Yeah, it was like about a half mile away, just shy of a half mile.
Okay. Maybe he meant walking 20 minutes, but who would walk? I mean, who would walk? Do they have cars? I didn't even try to find out about that. He took her in his car, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now the
Hmm.
grandmother, and I'm gonna find this video so I can post it on my community wall because I watched so many videos and I forgot to like save them so that I
Yeah.
would know exactly where they were. But in an interview with her grandmother, the mom's mom, she said that Maddie had a lot of fears and she wouldn't sleep alone.
Yeah, I heard about that. I heard about that. Okay, so she won't sleep alone. She's got fears. So she slept in the same room with the step and the mom?
I'm thinking the stepdad is what caused her to have those fears. Because think about it like this, okay? When I sleep in my bed alone at home, he comes
Mm,
in and does things to me. So
right.
to her, she's associating sleeping alone with bad things happening.
Oh, you're saying like afterwards. You're saying after, not
Yeah,
before. Okay, after. Yeah, then yeah, of course. Yeah, 100%, of course. Yeah. Because I thought you meant like before he was around, she was already scared like that. But you're saying after he came
yeah, I'm
around
thinking it
and
would be after.
gotcha, gotcha. Wow. Yeah, 100%. I'd go with yes. That would be definitely a good reason to be afraid to be alone because he's gonna come in that room, sneaking his behind in there, and
Hmm.
God knows what he was doing to that poor child.
I just feel, I feel so bad for that little girl.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, because
It's
like
sad.
bad things shouldn't happen to kids, period.
Period.
But for something like that to happen to a child for years, and there's
No
nobody
help.
you feel like you can turn to. You can't tell your mom because, and she might have tried to tell her mom, and the mom didn't believe her because that seems to be the thing every time with these cases that we cover. These kids
Right.
go to their parents, and then the parent doesn't believe them or calls them a liar.
Right. Right.
And kids don't
Mhm.
just make up stuff like that because kids don't think sexual. Kids don't
No.
think sexual unless someone has introduced sexual activity to them.
Right. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. That's horrible.
It really is. Well, I've been on here 2.5 hours. I think that's the longest live I've ever done.
You know what you should do to get people into your um to your lives?
What's that?
You should do a story about yourself, about the things that you've been through, because you got a lot of nosy people in this world. If you're comfortable with talking about it, I would do a story time live.
Yeah, I throw in some of my story here and there whenever the case kind of hits home or
Hmm.
it lines up with my experiences, and I do throw some of myself in there.
Yeah, but I mean, like when I say that, I mean like a autobiography of you on live, YouTube live, saying this this is my story, and you'll have people in there. I promise you, people are nosy. They like to hear about people's trauma and all that, and I promise you, you'll have people in the chat saying the same thing. Oh yes, this happened to me. This, and they'll talk to you, and you'll get people in like that.
That's
All
a
you
good
have to do
idea.
is, huh?
That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm. You'll get people in, and you'll get a lot. You'll get you some subscribers for sure.
I think I'll do that.
Mm-hmm. And just name it, this is my story, and then people be in there.
Yeah,
And then
I
do
think I
like
will do that.
your thumbnail, make sure your thumbnail pops, and it'll be like you. You could have a couple of pictures of you. Do you have pictures of you when you were younger, but you could just kind of blur out the face?
I don't.
Oh, shoot.
I think my uncle has like one picture of me when I was younger on his Facebook. I can get that one.
Okay, you could probably put that one and just blur out the face, and then put you up there with you as an adult as you are now. If you have any other pictures, then just kind of like make it like a collage kind of thing, and just say, "This is my story." And
Yeah,
yeah, yep, definitely.
that's definitely a good idea. I think I'm gonna do that.
Okay, I'll be in there. I'll be in there to support you,
Well, thank you. I
of
know
course.
Ra will be there.
Yeah, Raw is the one that sent me, brought me here.
Yeah, Ra is like a day one.
She's adorable. We be having so much fun. she's, she's a cool person. Totally
Yeah,
cool
she
person.
is.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna
All
get off
right.
of here and do some things around the house.
It was a pleasure. Thank you for having me up here with you.
Oh yeah,
Like I
definitely.
said,
Thanks for coming on.
Oh, no problem. No problem at all. You have a great day, okay, sweetie?
You too. Love
I'll
you
pray for
guys.
you and everybody else.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, everybody.